What is up, everybody? This is JP and I'm representing JP Fitness. Today I'm here to talk about why women should resistance train, weight train, anaerobic train, basically all that same things. I'm not talking about one specific form of weightlifting. I'm talking about basically all anaerobic forms of training. First, I'm going to talk about generally why women usually don't, if they don't. If you are a girl or a female who does, then this doesn't really apply to you. Or maybe you've heard another girl say this, a friend, a mom, a sister, and for guys, maybe it's a girlfriend or something, they don't want to weight train, you might want them to watch this video. But the main reasons, there's three usually that I see that women run into. Or one, fear of getting too big is getting too muscular. They say, oh, I don't want to gain too much muscle. I don't want to get too big. I don't want to look like a man. That is the main reason, which I hear all the time. I'm going to talk about later in a little bit why that's not true, but that's the main reason of all. Again, if you're a girl and you haven't said this, then this doesn't apply to you. The second one is that in general, weightlifting is a manly activity. Even though it's not going to get them as big as they think, they don't like doing it because they see a lot of guys do it. And, you know, it's like, I don't know, any manly activity. You take like, and I'm not saying all girls are like this again, but you take football. A girl who may want to play football maybe she might shy away from it because it's a guy thing, you know. So, but that's another one that I've heard before. You may or may not have heard it. And the third one is they see other females or other girls who are extremely big, like female bodybuilders. But for anyone a little bit more educated on bodybuilding, those females or women they're not big because of they will lift weights. They are big because of special supplements. If you get what I'm saying, but that's the reason why those females are big. But again, that doesn't pertain to a natural athlete. So those are the three most heard reasons, and now I'm gonna talk about misconceptions, basically things that are not true. Let's get it out the way right now. Anaerobic training gets you really big or extremely bulky. You gain a bunch of mass. One, this is not true. This is completely false. Studies that I read in the Certified Personal Trainer Manual from the National Council on Strength and Fitness, shouts out to them. Go check out their book if you decide to be a personal trainer. But I got this from that book. Studies shown by them or talked about by them show that over longer periods of training, really hard training of women actually trying to add on muscle mass, they've only gained 0.16 to 0.2 inches in the upper body of actual muscle mass. And this is over a long period of training and trying extremely hard too. Hypertrophy training, overall resistance training. So again, the anaerobic training does not get you bulky. I've talked about this in another video, but to get bulky is you have to train to target and release anabolic hormones from your endocrine system. If your ultimate goal is not short rest periods, moderately heavy weight, good time under tension, and high intensity, then you're not going to get big. And even if you do train that way, you are still probably not going to get as big as you think you are. Gaining muscle for a natural athlete, gaining muscle is extremely, extremely difficult. And if you think that you're going to get big, you're not. And odds are, if you do get big, you probably were more of a muscular person to begin with and you had good genetics. The second one is why women should train differently. I've heard this before. I've heard this from pretty educated people in the fitness industry that, well, not fitness industry, but the medical side, they're saying that women should train differently than men, which is false. People should train differently based off of different goals, okay? It's not, oh, a guy should train different than a girl. If a girl wants to add some type of muscle mass and a guy wants to add some type of muscle mass, they should train in somewhat similar ways. Everyone's going to train slightly different for the most part, just a little bit different. And even with people with the same goals, they may be doing the same workout routine, but women should inherently just train differently than men. Again, you might have a woman who wants to get stronger and a man who wants to get stronger, and they can do the exact same exercises. But again, women should not train differently than men for no reason at all, okay? And the main reason this is, again, it's extremely hard to add muscle mass in general for a man or a woman. And just like the study I just talked about, women show a lot less ability to add muscle mass in the upper body, way harder than men. So it's not like, oh, they're going to pick up weights and then one day they're going to wake up and be completely jacked. It doesn't work like that. If you do gain some muscle mass, it's going to be extremely small and it's going to be hardly noticeable. So over years and years and years and years and years of near perfect, rigorous weightlifting, you're going to gain some muscle mass, but it's probably the muscle mass that you want. So again, It's hard to gain muscle, and women should train based off what they want to do. If you want to get stronger, train that way. Strength train. If you want to gain muscle, hypertrophy train. If you want to be a little bit shy on that side, but you still want to look good, then maybe do muscular endurance training, something along that lines. But again, it's extremely hard for women to add muscle mass. So if your goal is to add any type of muscle mass, I would not shy away from resistance training. Now, why should women resistance train? The first few I'm going to go over specifically really quick, because they're generally things that you could easily find out on your own, but they're increased bone density, increased functional capacity, which means you can move better, function as a human being better, pick things up safely without hurting yourself. Increased confidence. Again, it does build confidence, being able to pick up a heavy weight off the ground safely and doing things that other people can't do through discipline and dedication. That does build confidence. Increased nutrient utilization. Again, weightlifting has shown to have positive benefits for people who maybe have problems with dealing with kind of processing glucose, processing carbohydrates. Again, if you have someone who's maybe heading to the realm of becoming a diabetic, and then they eat healthy and then they start weightlifting, that'll really, really help with nutrient utilization. Feel better. You just feel better from when you weightlift. Better quality of life. Again, you don't want to be that 70-year-old person who can't get up out their chair by themselves. That's not really fun. It doesn't make for a good quality of life. And the most important one, which again is exactly why women should weightlift, it's one that almost 99.999% of women can relate to, is you want to look good. You want to look good. I've never heard a girl who said, oh, I don't want a butt, or I don't want legs, or I don't want toned arms, is what they call it. Toned is just, we have muscle that is almost always activated to some extent. For example, postural muscles they're always activated to some extent. They have a higher resting tone, which means they have a higher kind of slight activation throughout the entire day. So basically, if you want to look good, if you want to shape your body, the only way to do that is through resistance training. So ask yourself this: oh, do I want legs? Do I want a butt? Do I want a good-looking arms? Do I want a good-looking back? You need to resistance train. If all you do is cardio and restrict eating, which is what so many women do, they eat a little bit and then they do a bunch of cardio, you are going to look just extremely skinny with no type of body shape whatsoever. If you see one of those fitness models who doesn't take any type of special supplements, who's a natural athlete, and you're like, wow, I want to look like her, I like her body, you need to resistance train. Think of resistance training as sculpting your body. Cardio is not sculpting your body. Cardio is a very good thing to do because it increases cardiovascular health. It helps you utilize oxygen in a very good way. That's what we do as humans. But again, that's all it does. It doesn't sculpt your body in any type of way. The hormonal effects cardio has on us is just going to end up making you look really, really, really skinny, and then reduce your overall probably reduce your lean mass if you do it to an excessive amount. So again, these are reasons why women should weight train. Again, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Get a girl or your mom or sister, or someone that you've heard say they want to weightlift, get them to watch this video, and please get them to resistance train. All it's gonna do is help them. If you like this video, please subscribe. I appreciate it. Share this to a friend. But until next time, peace.